Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Plat. Purplatypus is the name, and today we're going to be looking at some stats for some characters. First, we're going to look at Marissa here. As you can see right here where her stats are. All right, this is a little bit of a joke, I'll admit. I saw the comments, all right. I didn't realize when I was recording the video that you guys couldn't see the stat comparisons at the bottom of the video. I didn't know, all right, I'm human. I was looking at the screen. I wasn't looking at my own recording. So I was doing this and my camera was right here. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, we are going to take a look at some stats today. Move the camera out of the way. All my characters are level 99 besides Momo. And so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the characters. And while we're at it, maybe we'll talk about some of the characters that seem good that maybe I undervalued or whatever. But I think it would be fun because not everyone's going to have all their characters at level 99 yet. And I do, except for Sign. They've never said his name, honestly, not even once. And Momo. And Momo is actually my main character, but the way experience works, you know, it's kind of rough. Anyway, really quick, boom. Thank you to the members and to the supporters. I greatly appreciate it. I just got a super chat today, or like a thanks. So someone threw me a couple dollars just as in a comment, and that's awesome. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for looking out for the Plat, and the Plat will keep looking out for you. So what makes a character good? You know, I see a lot of people whenever, because I'm doing like these strongest characters, weakest characters type lists. I've done those quite a few times. And so what actually makes a character good at a glance, and you can look at them. You don't need to try every single character in the game to know that a character is bad. Like Faye here, I know Faye is bad. Very, very bad attack. Even worse magic. Honestly, a lot of HP. Their HP really got better, but their passive rune is bad, and their other rune slot is like, they have a second bad rune slot and then two okay rune slots, but they're just a bad character, probably one of the worst in the game, right? So you could tell by looking at the base stats initially, right? My characters are at level 99, and then you could tell by basically the rune slots. Those are the two main things. Now the stats in this game are kind of interesting because all characters are going to end up in similar overall stat like situations, like a total number of like points put on stats, but there's a lot of like soft caps in games, right? Like Noah's has a strength stat of 452, but he's not the only one, right? Lots of characters have 452 at level 99. And so at level 99, so does Liam, so does Gar. But at like in level 20s, right? Gar might have the most, Liam might have the least, and Noah might be in the middle because stats don't grow evenly. Characters have like segments where they gain a lot of stats, and then they have segments where they gain lower stats. So different parts of the game, different characters will be better. But by the end game, pretty much every character is viable. When I say pretty much, I mean literally every character is viable. Even the bad ones. So when someone's like, oh, can I use this character? Or are they just too bad? You could use anybody. Maybe Yelu isn't viable. If we look at Yelu here, 283 attack, 283 attack, 182 magic. And then not good defense, not good magic. Maybe you're the worst character. You have an insane luck. Maybe you're guaranteed to crit, but like who fucking cares when you don't hit for any damage? But so how do you, it's pretty easy to determine a bad character, right? You look at the stats or you look at the runes. Carrie's a perfect example of bad runes, like probably the worst runes in the game almost. Also, not Faye. Who's the one with the rocket launcher? Prunella. Prunella looks like she has good runes, but if you go in there and look, they're all 2 slots, so you can't actually use anything powerful. So they're pretty bad runes. But like Carrie has 3 runes being taken up by attacks you really don't want, and then the other 2 are magic slots. You don't have any way to increase your stats. So it's like overall, Carrie is like really bad in my opinion. One of the worst characters. It's mostly because she's not viable, but her rune slots that could be good are being eaten up by other things. Where if you want to look at a good character, it's actually not as important to be in this screen. You pretty much want to be able to examine their runes, right? Because that's like the most important thing. So if we go to the change runes, you can also look at their stats here. So why is Momo so good? Yes, the stats aren't crazy, but also they just have really good runes and they have a incredibly powerful passive, right? Those things all line up to make Momo one of the most powerful. But even Chandra here, Chandra has, yes, I know Chandra takes 2 slots, but if you look at the rune slots here, they're pretty good. A 4 slot all type, a 3 slot passive, which is good. 2 slot passives are terrible. 3 slots are where they get good. The skill is bad, but then another 3 enhance is like another 15% stats, right? Like these are all good. And they even have a pretty decent, not incredible, but a pretty decent passive rune. So I would say like Gyron was one of the best characters in the entire game, but he fell off really hard because his magic just did not keep up. His magic is too low. So if you use him, he's going to be a healer, right? He gets cheaper healing than anyone else because he gets 20% discount, and you could just use him as a healer, and he could use a shield, so he can be good. But yeah, if you want to, like, here's an example of a great character, right? They've got even the enhanced slots at 2 are still good because these are 10% slots. Passive slots at 2 are not that good. All type at 3 is very good. Runa Slash is good, and he also has the highest base strength in the game besides Chandra, which ties. And great stats besides that. Not the absolute tankiest, but good. But another thing you want to make sure you're looking at, so yes, it's the base stats, but that's kind of the least important. Because unless it's like ridiculously low, then for the most part, it's going to be equal. You know, they're going to be relatively in the same ballpark if it's a character doing relatively the same thing. So what you really want to look for is the runes that are good and the defensive ability. The defensive abilities are big. Right, so having a character like Euphorus is way better than most characters in the game because he has that 452 strength, like a lot of the other characters, right? Like maybe the second highest strength cap in the game. But he has charge up. Charge up is ridiculously powerful, and he even has a medium range attack, so he can attack in the back row. The fact that he has a hero power or a hero combo with Scarlet doesn't really matter. It's pretty weak, but like. Also, he's just super tanky, right? You can just look at Euphorus and immediately tell this character is nuts because of the charge up, because of the attack, because of the defensive stats, and because of the pretty darn good runes. They're all enhanced slots, but they just get more and more attack, right? Is pretty good. Bernard, unfortunately, seems like a meme. I don't understand why he has 283 attack. It just seems like I think he like legit just has like 300 less stats overall. Or more than Euphorus. Like he's just lower in lower. Look at this, lower luck, lower magic defense, and they both have nothing equipped. Lower physical defense by 200, equal agility, 50 more of the hand. The magic attack is like one is less, and then the attack. It's like he's worse at everything. He has less HP. He has less MP. He has the same, almost the same amount of MP, but he's literally bad at everything. His runes might be okay. I don't want to look at them right now, but the skill slot is bad and the magic slot is fine. But this is kind of how you go through and you tell what makes a character good, what makes a character bad if you're looking for powerful things, right? A lot of people really like Isha. I think Isha is really, really good. However, not even close to being as good as Momo. I mean, you could be an incredibly good character and not be Momo level. Momo is like clearly the strongest character in the game, in my opinion. Just from a straight, just killing everything. Nothing does as much damage as Momo. And that's all comes down to the unique rune, right? This character has a decent unique rune. They've got some good enhancements. They got a passive. The 2 magic slots aren't ideal, but they're good. I typically like having 1 magic slot and then having another boost there, right? Another stat boost. I don't need to have access to 6 spells at any given moment. I typically need access to 3 spells that this character are going to use, and then I'm going to have like just a bunch of damage on top of that. So basically, to just kind of summarize it up, what makes a character good? There is, most characters are going to fall within the average territory, right? That's just kind of what it is. So having an exceptionally good defensive skill like that one, I think it's Dijkstra, where he gives everyone like an attack boost that like stacks with other attack boosts. That's insanely good. A character will need to have outlandishly good stats in a specific thing. Like if you take a look at Reyna here, Reyna has like maybe not the specifically highest physical defense. If we look at someone else, someone else might have 498. Someone else is going to be really close to that at least. Maybe not specifically the absolute highest magic defense or the highest HP, but they're the highest. They have all 3 of those. So there's absolutely a tanky powerhouse. Or Hugo here has the highest attack. Euphorus has busted stats, not quite the highest in anything, but charge up. So, or even if a character doesn't look like they're going to have the best stats, Momo has pretty much tied for the most stats, maybe the best stats for magic. But even if they didn't, having that really, really powerful rune slots is huge, right? Having the unique runes is very, very rare to be good. Almost no characters have good unique runes. They're all average at best. But if characters have really good rune slots, that could also help them kind of make up for being like a subpar character. Like Noah doesn't have like exceptionally good stats. I mean, he does have good attack, all right, but his defensive stats are kind of low. But Noah does have like pretty good runes, right? A 3 anything, a 4 anything, a 3 enhance, and a 2 enhance. None of the bad skill slots, and no magic at all, actually. You could use magic with these slots, but you're probably going to use it for something better. And he's got like reasonable attacks. Nothing insane, but like reasonable. Although this scaling with magic is like lame. So kind of look for that. Also, yeah, look at Nil. Nil has got some pretty insane. Nil, I think, is potentially one of the better characters of the game. Yeah, they just have defense, right? But if you look here, they have 495, and they can get the. I mean, they could use a 4 slot. They could use 2 SP per turn, but that's probably not what you're going to be doing. You're going to be getting 4% per SP, right? You're going to be doing. I don't even know if I have a 4 slot enhance, or I'm sure that there are. Like increase whatever physical by 20%. I'm sure they exist. But like this character can get stats that are kind of insane if we take a look here. Do I have any more of the mighty power? I think I just have the 10% right now. That's okay. Yeah, the root of Sidewinder kind of blows and the magic kind of blows. It's not like bad, but it's like whatever. But like you can get super high stats with this character. So Nil, I think, is kind of great as well. And they also have like an okay, I mean, I don't like it, but a rune like that. So that's kind of what to look for when you're looking for things, right? Like this character has a unique rune that's pretty good. It allows them to defend other characters way more. It's kind of weird. Like, look how crazy low his defense gets. He's at literally 322 physical, 452 physical, 182 magical, 283 magical. I mean, 322 is like, it's like 100 less than Euphorus. It's so low. It's so weirdly low for this character. He kind of like falls off really hard, unfortunately. But he does have a good passive rune, so you could absolutely make something work with him. Meldridge has great magic, right? And has relatively decent attacks, but the runes aren't insane. A little bit too much magic, in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for when I'm looking for how good characters are. I don't think you need to play every single character, like use them for an hour to understand how good they are. Like you could pretty easily look at this and understand this character, he's decent. He's maybe slightly better than average, but not significantly better, right? The 2 slot passives are not particularly good because it just gives you, you're right, at 5 SP, it gives you 10% attack. So you'd rather have this be a 2 slot enhance like this, because you can also do this to get 10% instantly, or you can get 10% over 5 turns, which is worse. The all 3 slot here, I mean, the fact that you can have it enhance, you could have power, right? So he's still, the reason I think he's still going to be above average is because he's still got all of these, which are going to be pretty darn good overall. If we go like 4% per level, and then we go here another 10%, right? Like this character doesn't have the highest crazy attack, but they're going to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% per SP. So between having a pretty high base attack and then having all this on, like they're going to be doing crazy amounts of damage, honestly. So definitely a viable character, if not pretty good. So I can look here and I can see, you know, also like Malor. I get a lot of comments saying Malor is one of the best characters in the game. Really powerful in the late game. I mean, she's fine, and she's probably the 3rd or 4th best mage. But I don't think she's like absolutely busted or anything like that. She is good. She has like 495 is like the highest base magic stat. Besides, like it's tied for the highest, right? It's an insanely high magic stat, which is good. But she does suffer from overall bad runes. Like, right, she has 3 attacks that you don't really want to use that much, and she has 2 magic slots. That's pretty bad, so it's going to keep her from being the best. And her HP is kind of low, which I think is pretty bad. And she's got pretty low physical defense, but I don't hold that against mages too much, honestly. But I mean, she's good. She's definitely very good, but I don't think she's like busted powerful, anything like that. Milena is probably better here. I don't know. She has 3 attacks you don't really want to use, 2 magic, 3 magic. She does have that passive slot, which I think is better than the enhanced slot on average, but not this one. This one sucks. So yeah, maybe she's like, I still think she's probably the 3rd or 4th best mage. I think Momo's probably better. Francesca's better because the hero combo, I think, is actually just better than almost everything else in the game. And Gyron, I think, is potentially better as he has way more MP, more HP. He can equip a shield, and he gets more bang for his buck from an MP cost. So if you're looking for a support mage caster, spellcaster, he's pretty much the best there is in the game, hands down. When it comes to offensive, then Malora is probably the second best, right? Malora is probably up there for sure. But anyway, I'm rambling on now. This is kind of just like how you could look at a character and assess them yourself. You know, obviously, like Electra is really good. I don't think Electra is broken good, but Electra is very good. You know, having these slots are really powerful. The magic slot is not a waste, but it's like whatever. The skill slot is bad, but like these are really two really good rune slots, an okay rune slot and an okay rune slot, combined with pretty good stats overall. So Electra is definitely pretty good. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you very much for Platypuses for Plat. I'll see you on the flip flops. Bye.